DoGaming Championship Finals. I'm really confused with the names, but we've got Shase and Pandatank here. Both of them played long and hard roads to get here. Both of them Protoss. So, as my co-commentator here, Flipi, was saying, it's quite fitting for a local tournaments final.
It is. It is. Both Protoss players. We all have 70% or something Protoss players in general. I think it's come down a bit to around half the players now. I haven't seen, but all Protoss. I think the top 4 players, I'm just checking quickly, were all Protoss as well. In the top 8 we had a Terran and a Zerg and Protoss basically. So all good.
It's quite a dominant race in the country, but here we go. Pandatank spawning at the bottom side of Metalopolis. That's the map they chose. I'm not sure how the map selection was done, but we ended up on a pretty good map for the first one. Pandatank spawning at the 6 o'clock position, and on the left-hand side of the map, that's the 9 o'clock position, is Shase.
Alright, well, so PvP, early aggression, we can expect that from both players. Distance doesn't matter as much because of the fact that, you know, Warp Gate comes out almost instantly for everyone. The problem here is the fact that Travis or Shase is just such an overpowering player that by now people who play him buckle under the pressure of just, you know, knowing who they are playing. So if he plays a standard strong game, his chance of winning is way above anyone else's play just because of his reputation. I actually spoke to Pandatank earlier and he's feeling a bit of pressure.
I can imagine that. I mean, really, against someone like Shase, top 200 in Europe, and as you say, I mean, the standard strats are the ones that are actually really dominant in Protoss versus Protoss. I mean, the guys love the 3-gate Robos, the 3-gate Stargates, all those, like, the all-important 4-gate. Those things really do work, so, you know, you don't really have to stray very far to get those wins.
Most definitely. I've started watching a few Day 9 dailies again. Another thing that he mentioned that was amazing was the fact that most games end, you know, in one big push or one standard play. And in Protoss vs Protoss, all the standard plays can be game enders because they're just so strong and they're so aggressive. We see basic standard openings here at 12 and 13 gates, the gas going down for both players as well, and Pandatank finds his opponent's place. Finally.
Yeah, if you check the both players' views, Shase has also had a look at his opponent's base. Pandatank just took the long way around. It's always interesting to see what these guys do with their first little probes in their opponent's base. Shase is a big fan of taking down that pylon's shields, but doesn't really reap very many rewards.
No, definitely. And I think also Shase is quite aware of the fact that he needs to make sure his opponent isn't doing something completely crazy. So you can see him opening up with a 2-gate early on. That's going to give him some early stalkers, which is stronger than a 4-gate just at the start if you play it right. And a nice little gas steal on the other side as well, although a 4-gate actually only needs 1 gas. And a counter gas steal, so there we go. Double gas steal. 4-gate still very much an option.
Yeah. I do think it's a good move by Shase to counter gas steal because that'll sort of just funnel his opponent into the way he wants to play it. You know, if Shase 4-gates, he'd want his opponent to do something slightly more standard, something he can predict, I want to say. So he knows that his opponent's not going to fast tick right now, not before taking that assimilator out though.
Indeed, we can see Pandatank sparing one little chrono boost for his stalker there just to get it out early. Both people continuing to boost that warp gate technology, and the first stalker is just going to be a little bit of a scout, making sure there aren't any scaly proxies hidden around the sides and so forth. I actually expected Panda to do something scaly. If you are facing an overpowering player, you always kind of feel like maybe you should do something out of the ordinary.
It does make it like it makes it seem like you're gonna have better chance, but you have to really know what you're doing. You have to have it 100% down, know exactly how to do it, pull it off, and make it work. And I think it's always, you know, usually it tends to be better doing something that you know incredibly well. And I'm pretty sure that any Protoss player in South Africa knows that 4-gate well, and that's exactly what we've seen from both these players.
Most definitely. Okay, so now the perfectly executed Shase's 4-gate. His 4-gates are ready. His warp technology just finished, and all of them are warping around. We actually see Pandatank. He spared two boosts for something else, so he's finishing just a bit later. But his gates are ready. But he's taking the offensive right from the start. He's got a sentry out there as well, and an early zealot. Shase coming now in with a lot of. Oh, here he comes. That's beautiful stuff. He's got a proxy pylon right there underneath the ramp. So he's going to send up a zealot. He's going to see up the ramp, he's going to drop some units there, and he's going to push in here, and Pandatank going to be in some trouble.
Just needs that side, needs to snipe down that sentry if he can too, but Shase being a lot more aggressive here than his opponent. There come the zealots.
Definitely. Okay, so here it goes. This is a beautiful strategy that was executed first by Kiwi Koki way back in the day. when you're facing opponent who actually keeps you out of their ramp. As you can see, Shase now using that proxy pylon's range to get units up into the base, even if the sentry puts down a force field. But
Yeah, and
Panda is
it's
not going down without a fight.
it's so difficult to deal with this. That pylon is on such low HP. Pandatank needs to snipe it down, but oh my goodness, Shase doing a good job. But Pandatank actually holding it off at the moment. Shase
That's
not
good.
warping more in.
That's beautifully done. I think definitely a nice little thing there for Pandatank was the fact that Shase attacked the Zealots with his Stalkers instead of trying to kill the opposing Stalkers. Zealots are basically just their early game to tank. They do a lot of damage, but in this kind of fight, you just need them to take some of the fire while your Stalkers actually deal the damage.
Yeah.
So it worked out quite well for Pandatank, the fact that Shase did that.
Pandatank actually sitting on a lot more Stalkers, 2 more, not a lot, but 2 more, and his reinforcements are going to be a little bit closer, so that actually means quite a bit for him. But warping in a lot more Zealots. I'm not sure if all those Zealots are really going to help, but it looks like Shase actually deciding to pull back, and this is going to be a bit of a loss for him, because Pandatank should find that proxy pylon.
No, definitely. I think he'll eventually see it, but even if it doesn't, that's not going to be the biggest problem for him. The second proxy pylon at the Zalnaga Tower is obviously going to be very easy to find. And we see now Shase replying with a sentry as well as a robotics facility. He knows that his 4-gate has failed. I think he's going to take down, he did take down that stolen gas as well, so now we're going to go into the late game. I would say early game and mid game, but it's basically this and then late game. So we're going into late
that's
game.
how the jump works with a 4-gate, yes. And I gotta say, it all depends on if Pandatank can keep it together now. He mustn't be too hasty here, because if he pushes and loses all his units now, then he's pretty much handing the game over to Shase. If he actually sticks with it, he might have a better chance. And I do like the fact that he's pulling back. I think he's increasing his chances by 100% by just leaving Shase be for at least a minute or two still.
Okay, so pulling back, he's got the upper hand right now. He's got the expansion going up as well. Very nice play. When you have the upper hand and you can't force the win, then just take the advantage you can and stretch out as far as you can.
Well,
you got that little observer as well.
There's a little window that Shase has now to finish this, because Pandatank spending minerals on a Nexus, as well as that robotics facility, and then getting that second gas up. I like the fact that he hasn't put probes on there yet, but he did get it up. So Shase is only right now only spent minerals on that robotics facility, and then now his robotics base. So Shase will be able to get those higher tech units out a little bit quicker. That will definitely play in his favor in the next couple of minutes at least.
Most definitely. This is actually a lot better position that I expected Panda to have in the first game. You know, the first game always been the one where your nerves are the highest and you just don't know if you can get this right. A lot of Zealots coming in on his side. He has started using that second gas as well. And we see that there are... oh, where is this now? Where is it hidden? Oh, the robotics bay, right in the middle of the base. I always try and find the hidden unit, and it's right there. So we're going to see a nice little push up by Shase. I actually don't think that his window of opportunity has been used well enough, because putting down those buildings and so forth, with the fact that Panda actually had a few units beforehand, I think it's more of an equal right now.
You may well be right. I think it all depends on how much Pandatank spends on getting his economy up and running, because he's going to be at a loss if he does spend too much on it. And I think it all does come down to how many Colossus Shase can get out before the next encounter comes. But you know, because Pandatank is behind. I think saying that now, his robotics bay is only 3/4 done. He hasn't started his first Colossus. Shase could, if he plays this right, have 2 Colossus out and push up that ramp before Pandatank even knows what's coming.
I think Shase is definitely going to need more than 1 Colossus, because one at a time is not good enough. You can snipe it off. He does have a fair amount of an army. Look at that right now. Army values 1800 against 2.5, so he's definitely in an upper hand position now. But he's going to have to play it well. 1 Colossus does not win you the game.
No, definitely
Pandatank,
not.
Nice little scouty guy just sitting there. Proxy pylon still up, so Shase is actually in a very good position now to put a second set of pressure, pressure attacking onto Panda.
Yeah, he's got his waypoint set, and funny that he hasn't started the extended thermal lance. It looks like he's going to go without that, and here go the Zealots in the Colossus in a nice position.
That's beautiful. Very, very nice force fields as well, trying to cut the sentries back a little bit. Here comes the second Colossus. Almost done. The first one for Pandatank is out as well.
Oh my goodness, no.
Right down, and that's where the problem goes. Colossus goes down, and you just don't have that much of a chance.
And I think that's going to probably be it, because Shase got a free Colossus kill there. His Stalkers were moving beautifully around the side to snipe that down.
Most definitely. Unfortunately, Panda now, I think that he just lost the game right there. That first Colossus is a very, very bad position. The micro was not what he needed to be. He's kind of giving up now. What's he doing? Nothing.
Yeah, he is. I think he's going to be done in just a second. Shase still got a Colossus in his base, and there's a second one just approaching now. I actually thought I saw Pandatank attacking his own pylon with his probes there.
Unlucky, and not the happiest exit there by Pandatank. No words, just a straight quit. I think he knows that he just threw away a win that he could have maybe had.